So version 10.20 just landed, and it brought some amazing new content as part of the Borderlands collaboration, as well as some game-changing new devices and settings. So first of all, let's dive into some of the new prefabs and galleries that were added in this 10.20 update. So in this update, they added the new Pandora building set, which is directly from the FortniteXMayhem collaboration. So these new Borderland assets are absolutely amazing. They're from the Pandora building set, and I think they're going to be absolutely amazing in creative. Like, these flags and these poles and stuff are going to go a long way to creating sort of dystopian futuristic themes and loads of stuff like that. These Borderland assets have a really unique steam/cyberpunk feel to them. So running down the list of prefabs and galleries that were added, we have the Pandora container complex, which is this one. Just a really nice layout of containers and then just filled with loads of different things inside. We also have the Pandora L stack, which is similar to the first one, just smaller. We have the Pandora transmission stack, which is very similar to the other one. We also have this Pandora barn shelter, which is a completely different style to the first three. Kind of looks like a bandit's hideout made of metal. We also have the Pandora hearth shelter, which is kind of similar to this one. And finally, we have the Pandora Traveler Shelter. Moving on to the galleries, we have the Pandora Gallery, which is just a mixture of these walls from the last three prefabs. We also have this Pandora Container Gallery, which is completely free moving. All of these are props, and you can rotate and resize them to however you want them. Next, we have the Pandora Bone and Rock Gallery, which is absolutely massive. I don't think I've ever seen a gallery as big as this. And you can actually resize these props the same as any other prop, which is absolutely insane because like, you can have this skull and it takes up the whole map. They've also added some really nice desert rocks to this gallery, which I'll definitely be using in some of my builds. Next, we have the Pandora Prop Gallery, and it has this awesome animated windmill. It also has a lot of detailed props in here, which you can use for your own, like, dystopian futurism themes. These cables are going to be the most useful thing for me in the future. No longer do we have to use the ring gallery to fake cables. We can just use these cables instead. There's some really detailed props in here that I'm definitely going to be using in some of my builds. Next, we have the Pandora Prop Gallery Large, which is basically where all of the large props are put. This radio mast is absolutely insane. This is going to be so useful for topping off like skyscrapers and stuff like that. Bunch of different things that you can use this for. We also have a massive version of this spinning windmill. This radar dish looks insane as well. Finally, the last gallery that they added was the Pandora Light Gallery. These lights are really nice. They give off a really nice glow, and they're completely unique to anything that we've seen in Creative or Fortnite before. All these galleries are going to be super useful when trying to recreate a cyberpunk or a steampunk build, and I think we're going to see a lot of those type of builds in the future. The next thing that they added was a brand new arid island. You can find it in the Create New Island section, and then it's just this one over here. It's called the Arid Island. It was added as part of the Borderlands update, and it's an absolutely massive island. They also added this amazing new feature that allows you to name your island as you're creating it. No longer do you have to load into the island and then search through the menus to be able to change the name of it. You can do it straight from this menu. This map is absolutely massive, and I think it'd be really interesting to see how people can use this terrain to create their own unique levels. So that's all of the decorative stuff that they added in this update. There's also a huge number of things that they've changed in terms of devices and island settings. The first of these are a brand new speaker device and a brand new HUD message device. The new speaker device allows you to play one-off sound effects, which you can activate using triggers and receivers. It comes with a bunch of pre-made sound effects that you can choose from. The idea behind this is to allow you to play sound effects whenever something happens in your game mode, whether that's someone collecting a coin or delivering a flag or something like that. The ability to play a sound effect whenever something like that happens allows other players in the game to understand what's going on and what's just happened. There's a huge list of sound effects that you can choose from by default, and I think there's going to be something for everyone in here. Next is the HUD message device, and it has this really cool old school radio vibe. It basically allows you to type any message onto the screen and have it display during the game. You can customize which team that you want to send this message out to. You can also change a bunch of things in here, like how long it takes for the message to pop up, how long the message stays. You can even change the different types of text styles, so if you want it to appear red, orange, blue, anything like that, you can change all of that in here. There's a lot of different formatting options in here. You can even have this message displayed remotely by using triggers and receivers. So taking a look at this in game, you can see this is a test message, has filled up the entire screen, and really you can use this to create instructions on how to play your game. I think the most important thing when you're creating levels in Fortnite Creative is making sure that the player understands exactly what it is that they have to do to be able to win and play your game mode. So the addition of on-screen text to be able to explain to players what they have to do and what the current objective is going to help hugely when trying to explain to people how they have to play your game modes, especially when paired up up with the sound effect device, I think it's going to make a huge difference to the gameplay experience. And you can even use these in your story mode levels to explain or read out parts of the story on screen without the fear of people missing a certain sign or anything like that. We also have 2 brand new weapons which I think are creative exclusives. These are the brand new torch weapon and the brand new flashlight pistol. This new torch device is going to be super useful if you want to create a really spooky horror level. It basically just lights up a really small area around your character. The new flashlight pistol works in the same way, but you can aim exactly where your light goes. I think this is going to be huge for horror maps and stuff like that, and I'm really excited to see the new style of horror maps that come from this. Another feature that they added was a brand new camera filter option called Comic. This was released as part of the Borderlands collaboration. It basically turns this game into the same style that Borderlands is and gives it this really cool comic book sketch vibe. They also made improvements to the retro filter, and that should now be working on Xbox and PS4. Another new device that they added is a brand new random number generator device. No longer do you have to use a weird baller and sequencer randomizer. There's now this brand new random number generator device, which will make it a lot easier to create game modes that require some sort of random element to them. So this random number generator is basically a giant plate. You can pick it up and resize it however you want. It acts just like a prop. By default, it works like a dice. It will choose a random number between 1 and 6. You can also set a winning value, which allows you to set a certain win rate. Right now it's set to 4, which means that there's a 50% chance of winning. Right now this random number generator can pick a number from 1 to 6, which means it can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And the winning value is set higher than 4, which means that if you roll a 4, a 5, or a 6, then you win. That means out of the 6 possibilities, there are 3 winning values. That means for the default setup that there's a win rate of 50%. There's also a load of other different options on this device, which I'll probably make a separate video going through all of these options. But this device is going to be absolutely huge for creating a load of different mechanics in Fortnite Creative. Another new device that they added was the score manager. Again, this device can be picked up and moved around like a prop. Basically, whenever a player interacts with this or collects something on it, it will change the score that that player has earned. You can set it up so that it can add score, you can set it up to remove score. There's even an option on this device that allows you to reset the player's score and set it to any value that you want. I think there's a load of different things that you'll be able to use this for in your custom game modes, and I think paired with the random number generator device, these 2 new devices are going to be used a lot in custom mechanics in the future. They also added a couple of new options to the radio device, so now you can have loads of different music for pre-game, warm-up, gameplay, round end, and game end. So again, this is going to be great for the gameplay experience when playing creative levels. Just having different lobby music during the pre-game, and then choosing whether or not you want a different type of music when you're playing the game, or whether or not you even want music during the game. I think just having more options in general for stuff like this is going to really add to the gameplay experience, and I think it's just going to help make levels feel a lot more polished than they currently are. They also added a couple of new options to the team settings and inventory devices. The first of these is the end round when received from. This allows you to end the round with this team being the winner whenever it receives from a certain channel. There's also this second option that allows you to transmit on a certain channel when a certain team is completely eliminated from the game. This is going to be great for creating game modes that need to end when certain teams have been eliminated. This small option is going to be great for creating automated mechanics behind the scenes. But apart from that, I think that's pretty much everything that's in the new version 10.20 update. Epic Games are absolutely smashing it right now with the creative updates. There's been some really game-changing devices and mechanics that they've been adding, which is going to make a huge difference to the gameplay experience when people are playing creative levels. They've also been adding some really nicely designed assets and props that we can be using in our levels, and I'm really excited to see what they continue to add in the future. If you found this video useful, consider using my supporter creator code BluDrive in the item shop. But apart from that, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.